Guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Drew, and I'm here to do a review, or to start a new review series for One Piece Manga Chapter 1049. Yes, I have finally decided to more properly review these chapters of One Piece, and let's just start off with, this is probably the best and worst chapter to start off reviewing the series on. Because not only was this probably the best and most anticipated chapter that we've had over the past few chapters, but also we are going to be going on break within the next 2 weeks, so this is going to be the first One Piece review in 2 weeks, but don't worry, hopefully I will be continuing to review One Piece. So let's dive right into the review because there's a lot to talk about for this chapter. For starters, pretty much what this chapter is the conclusion of the fight between Luffy and Kaido, because spoilers for the end of this chapter, most likely than not, Luffy defeats Kaido. And he defeats Kaido in the most Luffy way, punching his enemy into the ground with a giant fist. And from what we see from the end of the chapter, he punches Kaido into Wano, and then Onigashima apparently lands upon him. So we got the conclusion of this fight, but we also got the pseudo conclusion to what's going on Onigashima, involving the fire that is spreading. We see that the water has gone to all of the areas of Onigashima. We get to see all of the characters reacting to the water in them and being saved by the water, or potentially being forced off the island by the water itself. But from what we've seen, the fire has been put out for the most part, and this could potentially include the fire that was also encompassing Orochi, so we do not know for certain if Orochi is officially dead or if he could actually come back. But we do know that most of the characters that we know and love are safe, especially when it comes to how they were able to get on the ground. Because we see that Momonosuke was finally able to create more flame clouds, his own flame clouds, to encompass Onigashima and allowing it to fall to the ground, potentially on Kaido, but at the very least definitely putting it on the ground safely so no one on Onigashima has the fear of falling out of the sky. You know, except for the one CP0 agent that saw that everything was going down and noped himself out of there using Skywalk. But besides him, pretty much everyone is safe on the ground, so we got that conclusion in this chapter as well. But besides that, what most of this chapter was before we get to see Luffy defeat Kaido is actually getting to see Kaido's flashback, where he came from, what he did sorta kinda within the intervening moments between where he was born in Wano, his involvements with the Rocks crew and how he was eventually recruited by Whitebeard to join Rocks' crew, and the also possible implications that the old woman left Wano way beforehand to specifically recruit Kaido, knew about Kaido and his connections with Rocks, and specifically chose Kaido to be a part of Orochi's plan to eventually turn Wano into a weapons factory. But probably the most impactful part of learning Kaido's flashback is just learning why he is sort of kind of the person or kind of the creature that he is. And that it's due to just how he was raised in a kingdom, specifically the Vodka Kingdom, which of course Kaido would be from a kingdom called Vodka. But the fact that he comes from a kingdom ravaged by war, and that to pay for the heavenly tribute to the Marines, that they had to literally sell Kaido to them at a very early age. And how we also get to see that Kaido as a very young child was very adept at fighting, in the same vein as how Linlin as she was a child was also very strong and was going to be sold to the Marines as well. So we see that potentially this is part of the reasonings why Kaido has a very strong distrust for humans, because of the fact that they sold him into slavery, specifically his own kingdom doing it. And we also get potentially hints and confirmations that yes, Kaido was caught multiple times, but that most of the times that he was caught was before he really accumulated the power and the strength that he has now, and that he mostly went to get himself caught so that he could eat from the prison ships, which is what someone in the chapter compares to it not being an all-you-can-eat buffet. So we just get a lot more context for the backstory of Kaido, and I find it very interesting that we were able to get this much just in this chapter, especially with the idea that this is going to be the end of the fight. And I think that this is specifically hammered in with the idea at the beginning of this chapter compared to the end, where Kaido brings up Joy Boy, that apparently he learned from his own child, from Yamato, and thinks that the only person in this world that would be able to defeat him is Joy Boy, and that if Joy Boy were to come back into this world, that he would be the only one that could defeat Kaido, pretty much cementing that what Luffy has done as the new Joy Boy is confirmation that he has defeated Kaido. So overall, really enjoyed this chapter. Really thought that this was an amazing chapter of One Piece. Getting to learn more about Kaido, getting to see the end of this fight, getting to see the conclusion of Onigashima falling finally be concluded in this fight. And now what we have to be looking forward to is what's going to be happening next. What's going to be happening to the Wano? Is Momonosuke actually going to take up the throne as the Kozuki? What's going to happen with Hiyori? Is Orochi still dead? Those are some of the questions that still need to be answered, but we still got a lot of answers in this chapter. And I know that I skipped this, but we do have the cover story where we get to see that Niji as well as Yonji have been freed from their bindings from the books by someone setting it on fire. And we still don't get the confirmation of who the people that was invading Chocolate Town are, but the fact that they are being freed from the books by fire, and that they are very much hinting at the idea that the people are Reiju as well as Ichiji. Most likely than not, the person that is actually there, it's going to be Pudding, in that she's setting Sanji's brothers free because she knows that Sanji probably would have done the same and that she loves Sanji. So that's my idea on the topic, but what did you think? Did you enjoy this chapter of One Piece? And are you very much in the belief or the idea that Kaido has been defeated in this chapter? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to read them. And if you want to see more One Piece content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!